my lungs, I can breathe normally, my spine is straight, and these are things that I'm not just saying, but once upon a time it was nearly impossible. I never seen this day coming. 7 months ago, me would never have seen me, like recognized me in this room if she was here. So yeah, I just want to thank Jesus, and I want to thank CY Church for so faithfully serving God, and so dedicated to discipling a generation that is so lost, and that is also looking at the same time for the right things but in the wrong places. So I know many of you have already seen my testimony online or through Instagram or through my conversations or something. So I'll not get into the details of it, the painful details, just to prove that how big and how real my problems were, because our God that I encountered was much bigger and more real than any of my problems. So just for the context, back in 2024, I was this control freak. I needed everything in control. I had an Excel sheet down to the last second, I knew what I was doing the next month on a Thursday. I had everything planned out, like my brother can just confirm that, if you doubt it. But I needed control over everything in life, and everything went according to plan, and it was great, I enjoyed. Until 2024 September, everything that I had in control was lost. And I'm talking about even my body, my mind, everything. So I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome and dystonia. So those two problems causes your body to have involuntary repetitive movements which is not in your control, and each passing moment it would get worse. It would just it's so ugly to see. It's not a sight to behold, and people weren't really kind. Traveling was very, very tough. Exam halls were complete torture chambers. I'm not exaggerating. And there were many things that I can just go on speaking about my suffering, but I want to tell you what happened, what really changed. It didn't change when I got a prescription, when I got the label that this is incurable. All physicians, all neurologists, everyone said it's incurable, you're not going to be healed, there's no medication for it. Maybe there's like something that reduces your dopamine levels, but that leads to depression, which I stepped into that too. But I will not be speaking about depression on Christmas. But yeah, so I ran to the greatest physician of all times, Jesus. And he had something very different to say. And so one night, I completely gave up. When everyone was asleep, I just went on the floor with nothing to offer but a broken body and a tormented mind full of voices that were not mine, that just kept telling me to end it all because I did not see a future. And I just went on the floor and I was actually cursing God so much. I was like, what is this? Are you a deaf God? Are you a blind God? What can you not see me? And I was so convinced that he couldn't see me. So I still I'll just give up. I completely surrendered every plan that I want to be healed before I graduate. I want to be healed right now, tomorrow. I stopped giving the time. I submitted it to him entirely. And I just made this one prayer, like, Abba, if you can see me, if you can hear my cry, please move. And I begged him, move. And he moved. And he literally brought heaven down in my living room. And I could feel the presence of all angels surrounding me. A cold body for months that was shaking because of the Tourette syndrome finally felt warmth inside. Finally felt the peace. Every tormenting thought left my mind completely. And it's not, I've literally ran to substances, I've ran to everything possible, and it was not possible. This kind of peace that Jesus talks about is not possible. It's not what the world gives you. It is only that he can give you, that surpasses all understanding, and it filled my heart and my mind. So I really want to thank Jesus for that. And so from this whole testimony, if I want you to take anything from it, it is that there is power in surrender. Because the ultimate surrender that we are celebrating this season was Jesus' sacrifice. Like, he surrendered to his Father's will. In Gethsemane, he said, not my will, but your will be done. And he knew surrender more than anyone in this room can possibly understand what surrender is. Even unto the point of death on the cross, he surrendered. He knew every kind of suffering that we humans go through, and even worse. He knew betrayal, he knew what it feels like to be doubted, to be tested, to be tempted, to be betrayed like by his own loved ones. He knew it all. And he still was forsaken on the cross so that we couldn't be forsaken. He did not want to see us separated from the Father, right? He died so that we could live. And I really want to thank him. And I remember the first day when I came to COH, Pastor Sana said something. He said that you can call a person healthy if they have the ability to do things a healthy person can. And you can call a person a Christian only if they have the ability to embody Christ. Does that make sense to you all?
Yes.
Okay, great. So how do we embody Christ when we haven't met him? We have to have that encounter, and you cannot encounter unless you surrender. So I just urge everyone to surrender this season, everything, just give it up at the feet of the Lord. Only then will you be able to carry his light into this darkness of this world and not be overcome by it.
Yes.
Woo!